All right, we're live. Hopefully, everybody can see me all right on YouTube. Looks like I'm in black and white. Yeah, today we're just
It's that
hanging
night,
out. I
it's
have
that
it.
night mode camera.
Yeah, let me see here. See what we can do. All right, there you go. There's some color. So,
You're
anyways,
fine.
just hanging out. Not much going on. I figured we'd just hop on here. Let's see.
Yeah, the Addie and Jan show, the
Yeah,
Practical Foragers.
yeah, we're just hanging out. So, this is episode 15, sponsored by Nothing Really. And we're going to talk about the moon and the full moon phases. So, they all have different names. Usually, they were given to it by Native American culture, I believe, right?
mm.
So, this would be
Well, the Greeks way before that,
yeah.
and
So, this would
somebody
be
else way before them.
the full moon tonight would be the cold moon. You could put two and two together. It's going to be cold for a while. And following that would be the wolf moon in January. Do you know why it's the wolf moon? Do you know why?
Signifies beginnings.
No, it's because
Oh,
kind of yeah. It's named after the howling of hungry wolves laminating the scarcity of the food in midwinter. So other names include Old Moon and Ice Moon. So
what I think is cool about this moon is it's the last full moon of the year. It's also the
yeah,
last
it's
super
a
moon of the
super moon.
year. And it's a super moon because I think it's at 6:14 Eastern time. It's going to be closest to the Earth. That's why it's going to look so big. Um, and that's what signifies all these super moons we've had a lot of super moons in the last year, don't you think?
Yeah, there's been a good bit of moons. There's been a lot of lunar activity. There should be what 13 cycles each year, I believe.
Yeah, but to have so many supermoons on top of all the incredible aurora borealis we've been having and meteor showers, because right
Yeah,
now it's a meteor shower time too.
and 3-1 Atlas is
Um,
hanging out, and we have the second moon hanging out
yeah,
for
the
another few
Atlas.
more days.
Yeah, a few more years. It's supposed to be there till like 65 or something like that.
Something
They
like
said.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
we posted about it. I called it our little roommate. So yeah, the Earth doesn't technically have a second moon, but it does have a temporary celestial companion called 2025 PN7, a small asteroid between 18 to 36 meters across, orbits the sun in a path that closely mirrors Earth's, making it appear to follow the planet. So it's like a quasi moon. Pretty
Well, that
interesting.
qualify. They call those things satellites. That's why they call those things that are man-made floating up there. They're satellites and stuff like that. Anything that's in orbit like
Yeah.
that is a satellite. So it's like a satellite of the moon almost. It's weird because it's just sucked into the gravity.
Yeah, they were
So
also calling the wolf moon because you see a lot of wolf tracks too. I've read that, not in this article, but anyways, yeah, the snow moon, wolf moon, ice moon, bunch of cold. March is the worm moon. So the
well,
native
the winter solstice is coming up too. Don't forget.
yeah. It's going to
That's
be a
coming up in a
brutal
couple
winter, so
weeks.
we're calling it being really cold this winter. Is that what the Farmer's Almanac said? Did you read it? I didn't read it.
No, I don't remember that. Because I always go by my nose, and I
Yeah,
said that this year's an El Nino. It's like I've read all these old logbooks that I've had for years so much. I don't even have to go back anymore. I can tell what's going to happen. But I think that we're going to have a really like I said earlier before. We're going to have a really cold stretch from Christmas time into mid
yeah.
January. We might have a few days here and there where we're going to get unprecedented warmth, but not many. But and that's the other thing. The cold moon is also a signifier before the longest night of the year, which is the winter
Yeah.
solstice. That it's time for rejuvenation. It's time to sit still. It's time to reflect everything that they tell you to do before New Year's. You know, all these things are starting to culminate now, and the holidays are coming up quick. You know, on
Yeah.
top of it, so there's a good way to meld old folklore and Native American tradition with what most of us do nowadays this time of year, which is hunker down. What do they
Yeah.
call this? They call this season for the young kids, they call it cuffing season. You know what
Yeah.
that means? Yeah. So it's like the beginning of partnering up time because you don't want to be cold. in
Yeah,
the
you're gonna be
wintertime.
left cold. You're gonna need something to keep you warm. So
Eat your
that's
mushrooms. They'll keep you warm.
not as warm as a partner. Let's see here.
Hey,
The
I do
worm
just
moon.
fine in my down comforter. Thank you very much.
The worm moon. Native Americans called this last full moon of the winter the worm moon, after the worm trails that would appear in the newly thawed ground. So I guess the dirt, you know, how it cracks.
You're talking about next year or
This is
or
March.
this time of
Sorry,
year?
sorry. I
Oh yeah,
skipped.
March.
If you're
Yeah.
following, we did the wolf moon in January, so that's the first full moon of the year. Then February is a snow moon. That explains itself. March is the worm moon.
Beginning of mud season.
Yeah, where everything starts to thaw
Here.
out, the ground starts to split,
Yeah.
and you know, other people say the other names include death moon, crust moon, sap moon, after the tapping of the maple tree. So I guess it's a good time to sap moon's kind of cool. Pink moon.
I don't know. Listen, people traditionally tap maple trees and get maple syrup. Right?
I've heard of the worm moon. That's
But
what I call it.
But people also tap birch trees and make birch syrup, and birch
Yeah.
syrup is supposed to be pretty good.
And April's pink moon, after a species of blooming wildflower. The moon is called, or is called sprouting grass moon, the egg moon, the fish moon, sprouting grass moon. I've never heard of that. The flower moon,
Yeah,
that's May. That's pretty cool, obviously. Strawberry moon in June.
for obvious reasons.
The buck moon in July. That's usually a really bright one. And the sturgeon moon in August. September is a corn moon, October the hunter's moon, November the beaver moon, and then back to where we are right now, the cold moon. So there should be 13. And then there's a blue moon. You ever hear of a blue moon?
Blue moon. That's all I can think of is that old 40s song.
No. Every 2.5 years or so, the difference adds up to an extra 13th full moon. During the year, this is relatively a rare occurrence, and it's referred to as a blue moon. So I guess it's the 13th cycle. So because our calendar is 11 days short of the lunar cycle, did you know that? So I went into this deeper. Okay, we're gonna get into this. Have you this is gonna draw me into the 13-month calendar. Have you ever heard of that?
No. Mythologically, yes. I've heard of a lot of things
Well,
like that. But number 13th is avoided for a lot of reasons because of folklore.
Well, they argue that a 13-month calendar aligns better with the lunar cycle, and that there are roughly 13 of them a year. You know, if you did the math, you'd have 28 days out of 13 months.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
And it would be exactly 4 weeks a month.
Yeah, that's not
for
going to happen.
13 months. Yeah, but think about that for a second.
No, listen, we should be running by the lunar calendar, right? Makes sense. You know, we know that many cultures did that. Yeah, many cultures did that, but those cultures are now gone, aren't they, Addie?
I found one. I found one. What country still goes by a 13-month calendar, and it's called the Ethiopian calendar?
Well, there you go.
Locally known as symbols I don't understand. Let me translate it. Just
It's in Africa. Enough said. You know what I mean?
Stands apart
I
from the
think that
Gregorian calendar used globally with 13 months instead of 12. It includes 12 months of 30 days each plus a short 5 or 6 day month Pagum at the end. What? So they just add like
I wonder.
they just add like five like false days at the end. See, there was another conspiracy saying like that Easter didn't used to be a day in the calendar. It wasn't even like, in April. It was just a 0 day. Like it was the day. There's I went on a rabbit hole, but yeah, it's pretty wild.
I want to see. I can remember something from a long time ago about the Jacobite calendar, over in Scotland. Because when you brought up the Gregorian calendar, it rang a bell. Yeah, I think things used to be done like that, especially before we had mass record keeping. It's because think about it, all of us were farmers, hunters, gatherers, most of us back in those times. So you had to go by a lunar calendar.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the history of why or when it changed, but so many. I mean, I'm a Cancerian. Okay, I was born in July.
Yeah.
And I'm a very typical Cancer, where the tides and the moon phases definitely affect my moods. But that I break down with science. Well, magnetic poles, magnetic fields.
Yeah.
We all run on nothing but salt in our salt bags. That's what we are. We're all a bunch of salt bags. So of course, so to me, I look at it at a deeper metaphysical level on how it connects with energy and stuff like that. That's the way that I view it. But I'm a Cancer. I go too deep in all kinds of things that have to do with feelings, and I try to explore why I feel certain ways. And that's just something that I've come up with. Maybe other people have different perspective. But like last week, like the last time we were talking about how these whales are beaching, how all these whales are getting beached, and how we have, it's a magnetic fields, and they run off of sonar. So humans are the same way.
Yeah, we just don't know it yet either. That was another thing. I think the ancients, our ancient civilizations, that's what they were masters of. They had such a deeper connection. We call it a spiritual connection, but
Da Vinci, look at his paintings and his sketches and things like that. They all knew that there was an unseen, that they couldn't see it with their eyes, but they knew it was there.
There's a field.
Think about it this way. You're attracted to certain people right off the bat. There's some people you click with right away. Some people attribute that to, they
frequency.
In a past life, and people can sense that energy, and your energy automatically is in harmony with it. That's how come people click right away. So they're going to find out hundreds of years from now that everything this crazy old gardener from Maine was saying was right. But I think a lot of people suspect that anyways. You just vibe, and that's why everybody uses the word vibe. You vibrate. Your vibration is on point.
Well, that's what all the temples talk like that. That's what all the old like ancient temples were built for, sound. And I think they all like somehow hit the same note, and then could just somehow astral project. I don't know what it would feel like or what it would do, but like there's a lot of people exploring more and more and more nowadays. I guess you would call the spiritual realm, right? I mean,
well, I think it peaked. The interest is peaked when Hollywood starts making movies. And there was a movie I saw recently where they were in this tomb room in Egypt.
Yeah.
And there were these huge bells that were there, and they couldn't get this big stone to move. This huge stone that and they knew it moved because it was on track, but they didn't know how to move it. All of a sudden, they started ringing the bells, and the vibration from the ring of the bell made that stone move with a finger.
Yeah, that's how a lot of people think the Egyptians moved the blocks.
I think the water was a lot closer, number one. And I think, vibration definitely, because they find evidence of all of that in the tube.
Yeah.
But Hollywood Outfit makes it bigger, and then we all start finding out about it, and science starts, agreeing with everything that we're saying. So
yeah, if you ever see how like bumblebee flies,
yeah,
with its actual, it doesn't really use, like, it has like the super tiny wings, you know what I mean, and it has a giant body because it's creating this resonant sound that helps it lift off.
Yeah,
it's using vibration to fly. So the flight. Here we go. Let's see.
I mean, if you've ever,
like, could you just make a giant version of that and fly it around? And what do you think? So yeah, it's pretty wild.
I don't know, but I know that I've lived in places and I've been places where I've heard a jet let off a sonic boom.
Yeah.
And you literally feel that on the ground. You can feel that shift. That's what causes you to pay attention and you look, because it even vibrates your eardrums. It changes the pressure a little bit. And you think to yourself, oh my God, those guys are, the pilots that fly those things.
Yeah.
They're like superhuman. I don't know, because one of my ex-husbands was a pilot.
Yeah.
And he was a different breed for sure. But to fly those kind of things, fixed wing jets, speed of sound, that kind of stuff. Anyway, everything is about vibration. Our atoms are literally vibrating in order to stay together and to hold everything together. So of course, certain things are gonna attract us, like full moon. It's got.
Yeah.
I'm vibing with the full moon tonight. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna lit right up because there's snow on the ground. It's gonna be.
Do you believe people get like full moon energy, and that's like can add to like bad driving and like weird crap happening, and like, you think it affects people?
Don't even say the word full moon to a medical professional.
Oh, really?
Yeah, ER admissions are up by 25% or more in some places on a full moon. So people don't even talk about it. Like if you're on the floor, you just shh. You just don't talk about it. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
But yeah, full moon madness is a thing.
Yeah, that's funny. That just came up. Does a full moon make us sleepless? No, but police officers, hospital staff, and emergency workers often swear that their nights get busier under a full moon.
Yeah.
Never would have guessed.
Yeah. I wonder if they took a poll and found out how many of them were cancers. That'd be quite interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's ever done that kind of
I guess it would.
That kind of study.
What do they call that? Lunacy? Lunatic? What's
yeah, moon madness. That's where the word lunacy comes from. Luna meaning moon. Yeah, lunacy.
Could be.
Yeah. Nice medical terms we got, huh?
Yeah, I'm just
Don't
reading.
Even get me going. Don't even get me going on the word hysterectomy, because I think that's disgusting and it should come out of all medical manner. Period.
Yeah, I'm not Googling that.
Hister.
I'm on bumblebees.
Listen, when you break down medical terms, you break down words. Hister in Latin means crazy. Ectomy means the surgical manner of taking something out. Ectomies. That's why you see cholecystectomy.
Yeah.
Anything that has ectomy after it required surgery to be removed. So, hysterectomy, crazy removed from a woman. It is such a patriarchal world. It's disgusting. I hate that word. I always have. It's your uterus. Uterectomy. If somebody's taking out your uterus, it's a uterectomy. That's not a hysterectomy. Stop calling it that. I think it's ridiculous.
Well, if it's in the books, it's going to be hard to change.
I don't care. It was Victorian times. It's a Victorian phrase, patriarchal. When you remove a guy's testicles, you don't call it. I don't know. What's something derogatory?
I don't know. I'm not gonna. I gotta get out of this. I'm trying to find a bridge.
Testohysterectomy.
No
Yeah,
thanks.
that's what we should call it. Testohysterectomy. Because I bet a lot of women would like to say that makes men crazy sometimes.
Don't take it out on us. We didn't make that word.
No. Of course you did. Men, not you specifically, but the patriarchal medical establishment did. Hysterectomy.
So I did want to bring this article up that I saw not too long ago, a few days ago.
Oh yeah? What was that?
Have you ever heard, and this is something people don't talk about often, the huge trash pile that's in the Pacific Ocean that is now grown double the size of Texas? Have you heard about that?
I love that we're talking about this.
Because it's like, I see articles, but no one talks about it. Dude, this should be like front page news. And then like Instagrammers and stuff, and people go there and take pictures of it, and they don't get popular. Like their videos don't get nothing. Like,
dude wait a minute, hold
on. Huge deal. This is like a big fucking problem.
There's this one guy.
All right.
That started a not-for-profit, and I believe it was before COVID. And his YouTube is quite popular. I don't know what it is.
I mean, but not a lot of people are covering.
He's grown. He's gotten a lot of sponsors.
Good for him.
He's picked up billions and billions of pounds of trash with his contraption that he's got. And it works. But listen, I think what they got out there going on.
I think I found him.
They started highlighting it after Fukushima.
Yeah.
After the typhoon. Because a lot of stuff got swept out from Asia, and it created this big cesspool on top of what was already out there coming down from Alaska.
Yeah, it's like so close to Hawaii. It's crazy. It's just like engulf that island if it blows wrong. It's huge.
Or pour lava on it and turn it into a landmass, because they're saying it's big enough to be a landmass.
It is, dude. It's huge. It says, I'll read a little bit. This is published on, I guess, LinkedIn.com news. So kind of whatever. December 3rd, 2025. He said plastic pollution is projected to more than double over the next 15 years without bold global action. I agree with that. He warns as production outspaces waste management capacity. The research also finds that 66 metric tons of plastic packaging entering the global environment each year could also almost be eliminated by 2040, primarily through reuse and return schemes. So yeah, they're trying to get people to clean it up and use it again.
There's this Japanese guy that created this type of plastic.
It's a threat to human and planetary health for sure.
Listen, this guy.
Did he make it out of plastic?
No, he made it out of mushroom, and it degrades. It degrades in salt water, so you don't have to deal with that, and it degrades, in dirt.
Yeah.
And it's good for the environment. So that was another thing. But I think the big news for me, at least, because I've been saying this I brought it up a couple times here or there on some podcasts where I've said they're going to find out that mushrooms are the answer to eating all the nuclear waste in Chernobyl.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
Bada bing! Guess what? They ID'd a fungus in Chernobyl that is doing just that. It is eating the radiation, and that fungus is actually able, you can consume it.
No, I'm not eating the poison.
It transmutes nuclear energy. Nature found a way, people. And it's always down to the basic building blocks of any living organism, which this earth is. And mushroom is one of the building blocks to this earth. So of course it's going to be the thing that heals it when we as humans screw it up. And it always finds a way. We don't know how. We just figure it out when we see something and it appears, and then we start doing tests on them and all that other kind of stuff. But I don't think too many people are going to be going into Chernobyl right off. Of course, people had to be there in order for them to find this and to see this mold, this fungi. But you know, even Marie Curie, even her tomb is still radioactive from all the stuff that she was using, you know, back in the day. You know, that's been making the rounds on social media too. So, you know, you're right. You know, do you go in there? No, we don't even know an inch about what radiation can do other than what our tests have now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For crying out loud, they're telling you MRIs are bad, and so we're CT scans now, which makes sense because, again, energy, vibration, that's what those magnets do. You know, they're messing with our vibration a bit. But, yeah, there's my spiel.
Yeah.
I go off on 3 different things that I've seen online this week, you know, that I've seen pop up in the news. But, yeah.
Yeah, I think Trash Island's a big deal. I think it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And, you know, I just wanted to bring awareness to the nastiness of what's going on. You know, no one seems to be wanting to clean it up. And it's off our coast. I'm not saying it's all of our trash, but I think it's kind of in our...
Zap it.
What do you want to...
Zap it with lasers.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know
huge.
what. No, because it would change. Yeah, but the lasers would increase the water temperature.
It's expensive.
Which would
What
be
are you
bad
send it out to orbit?
No, I think that we got to find something to sprinkle on it, like mushrooms. But I don't think in that kind of acidic environment in the saline, there's not too much that can, you know, live for a long time in that kind of saline.
There was a young man who made gas out of plastic.
Imagine what that would do to the ozone layer. Come on.
Well, they were like rumored.
You're talking BPH and all kinds of chemicals
Brown.
in there. Nah.
Well, he did it, and then like he like disappeared for a while, and everyone was like, "Oh no, what happened to him?"
Airlift it piece by piece. Have it be a massive lift operation. You net it. You lift it, you bring it to landfills, you get rid of it in a, you know, bioethical way that it's not going to hurt anybody. And that's that.
They got to find a way to make money off of it. That way, that's the only way someone's going to get it out of the ocean. Like no one's going to get the Texas size of double the size of Texas amount of trash out of the ocean for free. And where are they going to put that?
Hey, if one little dude can start a not-for-profit,
I'm not trying to poo-poo on
here
anybody.
Here it is a few years later, he's gotten rid of billions of tons of trash, just doing that, just something he started, grassroots.
Yeah, I'm not like I'm not trying to downplay it, but I will play devil's advocate. Like, how long is that going to take him for, you know?
In other words, he should be inspiring others to do the same.
So if it takes,
he has.
Yeah. Like, imagine cleaning up trash the size of just, you know, a county. I don't know. I think we have too much trash. Here I am with I'm going to have future trash in my hand now.
I'll tell you what, though, for the most part, most of the people nowadays, everybody recycles.
They ban plastic bags where you're at in your area? Are you allowed to use plastic bags?
There are different cities. There's different cities that you have to buy their trash bags. Or like
that's how it is in certain counties here. You have to buy the plastic, or they just don't carry it at all.
Yeah, not here. They assign us one of those big old trash cans that has a number on it because it's an automated trash pickup truck that comes. Like there isn't a guy that gets out anymore and picks up your trash can and dumps it in. robotic arm that comes out, and the guy just sits there driving, looking at the camera.
Yeah, so this trash is a combination of people dumping it in different countries. You're saying like disaster areas and stuff, and it's just big, huge pile of trash and off the Pacific coast. And from the pictures, it's not that far away from Hawaii, like we said, and it's not that far off of California. So look out.
No. I'm telling you, but you know what? You know what it does show you? It does show you how the currents are.
Yeah.
And where they meet and where it moves to, because it's nothing but a big stuck hole right there. That's why all that trash is staying all together.
Yeah.
It's not tied together. It's the gravity of the currents that are holding it together. That is what I look at when I think of it. I think, wow, where's it going next? And so there has to be some type of graph out there that shows its movement during certain times of the year.
I also read that there was like 7 bands of trash that are like around the whole world that have their own ecosystem now. They just circle the globe. Like terrible.
Good place for the birds to land.
Yeah.
But now you know why they're finding plastic in guts of some of the fish and the bigger fish and stuff like that. It may not necessarily be local pollution. It may be they were in areas like that. Who knows?
Well, yeah. That's pretty much all I really got. I don't know. Just hanging out, talking the talk. It's wintertime. Maine is beating Pennsylvania in the snow battle.
Yeah, we got almost 4 inches.
I got like 1 inch.
And listen, I made a post yesterday. This time of Maine when it's December and it's cold. You finally got some snow on the ground. You get what I call up here, late afternoon, the cotton candy skies. They're wispy blue and wispy pink all together. And they look just amazing. You don't get that in the summertime. It doesn't get dark so early and things like that. And so yesterday, I took a picture. I was out back after I had shoveled, the driveway, which is a big, long driveway, everybody. And I hand shovel it because it's good cardio. It's excellent for your abs. It's good for your hammies, all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah,
Just make sure you do a lot.
Shoveling snow will work you out pretty good.
It is. It's good for your traps. It's good for your shoulders, everything. But you've got to listen to your body, And if it says stop a minute, then stop a minute. You know what I mean? But you got to get your stretches in. Anyways, I saw the beautiful cotton candy sky last night, and I just couldn't resist myself because I can't tell you how many times I drive back and forth to a ski mountain, and it's usually on my way home. I'll chase the color candy skies, I call them.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'll see Maine really one day. I'll see it one day.
Yeah, you will.
My parents always told me about Maine. My parents always told me about Maine, going to Maine, growing up. So I usually go down south. I usually go to like Florida and stuff like that.
Well, it's a great state, because you can do so much in it.
Yeah.
You've got the mountains, you've got the ocean, you got all the lake regions.
See, Pennsylvania doesn't have the ocean. That's where it sucks. We gave that to New Jersey and Delaware.
We even have a real desert here. So
that's cool.
It's weird, but I was watching a documentary today where they were talking about Poland Spring. Poland Spring, it's advertised as spring water from Maine and stuff like that, but we here in Maine, we don't like Poland Spring. They drain our aquifers.
Oh, that sucks.
And they actually made a documentary about it. That I'm going to be posting on the Practical Foragers group, so that you guys can all watch it. It's a pretty good one. It's pretty enlightening because I always tell everybody follow the money, right?
Yeah.
Poland Spring got bought out by Nestle Corp, okay, which also owns like Arrowhead Water and a couple other kinds of waters and things like that. They put out a statement this year during a drought that they were going to decrease their production because of the drought that everybody was going under. Because people near these big Poland Spring aquifer
yeah,
plants,
they're taking all the water.
Where they take the water, there's a lot of farmlands and things like that. They showed that they doubled the increase as compared to the year before. And it so there's a lot of, Maine is known for its water. We've got a lot of it, but this company needs to be controlled. They need to have contracts stricken. They have generational contracts with towns, like 45-year contracts, which is unheard of. Townsfolk are going to the Maine Public Utility Commissions and stuff like that to fight it.
The other thing you got to watch out for,
they did this during the drought. It's our forests, our wetlands, everything suffered when aquifers went down. It affected our natural ecosystem.
Yeah.
And no one should be allowed to get away with that. No one. And so that's going to be something interesting I'm gonna post, and make sure that you don't drink bottled water out of plastic bottles anymore, everybody, because of the BPHs and the PFCs and all that, PFAs and all that other kind of stuff that's in it. The PFAS, it leaches, even if it's not in a hot car. Imagine how it got from the bottling plant to the grocery store. It had to interact with heat somewhere. You know what I mean? And it leaches in. So get a water filtration system. Just get that. I don't know what to say. Here's the thing. Do you drink city water, Addie?
No, we have Brita filters and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, that's what I have. I have a Brita filter.
Man, dude, it makes water taste crispy. I will tell you.
It does. It really does.
And I notice the difference. And I drink out of like an aluminum, like Yeti, like a stainless steel cup or glass.
Yeah.
I don't drink out of plastic too much.
Yeah, I never drink out of plastic. It's always the steel or glass. But even glass, you got to pay attention to your glass.
Yeah, what's the deal with drinking out of copper or something like that? People were doing. You ever hear that?
I've heard that people drink out of copper cups because they want to increase the copper in their bloodstream. Has to do with selenium, all kinds of other stuff.
Yeah, I seen that. I seen that popping up.
But just remember, we are, even back in the 50s and 60s. Hell, even still, people are cooking with aluminum pans.
Yeah.
And we know that you shouldn't do that. Aluminum corrodes, and it's not good for you. That's how some people always used to just put them on top of wood stoves with water. And anybody who's had one of those on a wood stove, you take it away from the wood stove, and when you look, it's dry. It's all corroded on the inside. That's all the water from the tap usually mixing in with that corrosive material in the aluminum.
It says storing drinking water in a copper cup for 8 hours allows copper ions to infuse into the water, providing antimicrobial benefits and effectively eliminating bacteria by hour 16. And given these time frames, copper levels remain well within WHO safety limits. That's January 2025.
Yeah, but if you've got certain things,
it just sounds strange to me that people want to start drinking out of copper cups all of a sudden.
Well, there's nothing wrong with drinking out of copper cups.
I never thought to do it. Is what
if
I'm
you're
saying.
doing it for a therapeutic punch, some people that have certain diseases with their red blood cells, they
Yeah.
can't have too much copper. So even drinking out of copper cups might affect their levels a little bit. You know what I mean? And then that's something that the liver's got to deal with, and that's not fun. You know what I mean? To back that thing up when it's got to deal with so many other things that you're shoving down it every day. Whether it's, me drinking my coffee, whatever,
Yeah, I
But
like stainless steel.
I like cast iron. I
I have a cast
cast
iron. I just
iron.
don't use it much because it's just a pain in my ass sometimes. To be
Even my
flat out.
griddle's a cast iron. Even my
Yeah.
griddle's a cast
I
iron.
have one I
I
cook
just
with
put
when I go camping.
I love cast iron. And when you get that thing seasoned right up, there ain't nothing like it. I mean, they just like wipe clean. They're great. They're good for you. A good source of
Man,
iron for somebody like me.
people are charging a pretty penny for their copper cups too.
Well,
Just
they
little
got
tiny.
bakeware with copper.
I'll
They
give.
got copper bakeware too.
They're beautiful cups, though. I'm looking at these glasses. They're nice. They're like little small, like tea glasses, and some people have like little shot glasses, wine glasses. I guess there's like a water bottle you can get. That's probably what people are buying. They're like $40, $50.
Well, you can get one of those double walled too.
Pure premium copper.
Double walled to keep things cold for a long time.
It says for reducing plastic waste. That this thing ain't like claiming health benefits. Essential minerals.
Here's the thing.
Okay, that's what it says.
It's a holiday season, and it's time for Moscow mules, ladies and gentlemen.
Put them in
Bust out your copper cups and make your Moscow mules with your fresh mint. There you go. Or put some mojitos in them.
I'm not making any.
You're not making any Moscow mules?
No, I'm getting out of there.
Stormy, dark and stormies. Those are good in copper cup. You know what a dark and stormy is?
Not really, no.
Oh my goodness. It's ginger beer. You use one of those skinny cans of ginger beer.
Okay.
And you pour Myers dark rum over top of it. And it looks like a dark storm that's coming down. You know what I mean? But they call it dark and stormy. It's a drink.
I'll have to try it. Well, I think I'm going to wrap it up.
Anyways.
I'm going to wrap it up, Jan. It's been a chill session. No one's chimed in. It's just a random Thursday night. It's cold. I figured we'd just jump on to keep active.
Talk about the full moon a little bit.
Talk about the moon, catch up with each other. This was unplanned, so maybe we'll plan the next one. But yeah.
I think I want to talk about Usnia, the next podcast.
Yeah.
Because there's been some talk lately.
And I want to talk foraging next time. I want to get some foraging videos again for our channel. I want to get some clips. We're going to clip Trash Island about this because I did want to talk about that and the moon.
Okay.
So
Trash Island. I love that Trash Island. Yeah, that's what it is. It's like a country now.
It is. It's off our coast, and we should claim it. Just start building on it. People can live there too, probably if they want, right? Just start building on it.
I don't know. When I think about it, all I think about, to be quite honest with you, is flashes of pictures that I see of the heaps of trash along the Ganges River in India, and how people walk over mounds of trash in even Mexico and stuff like that, scrounging for things. Can you imagine all the container? Well, think about it. That could be debris, not like from human trash, but from all these container ships that have accidents that lose stuff.
They're tons of crap.
Imagine all the stuff that's in there. You might find some good sneakers in there. I don't know, but I don't think it's all just waste products from humans. I think a lot of it is from storms and container ships.
Yeah. But either way, it's all from humans essentially. So we are the parasites on the earth.
True that.
So
True
I'll
that.
leave
But
you with that.
There you go. We're gonna live longer than the cockroaches, yo.
Yeah. Well, the cockroaches are gonna live longer than us, but
yeah. Well. Anyways, listen. Eat your mushrooms.
Yep.
Keep your hands to yourself and be kind to one another, especially
care.
yourself.